Base command, hello. Yeah, hey. So, funny story, I started to make it and we're out. I don't know how we got here, but coffee. Yeah, I need to get more. Ready my ship. I don't care if it's not complete yet. Ready my ship. I have the package today. It's ready my ship. Stupid, not ready yet. Freaking no. Not ready my butt. Dude, this thing's freaking fine. Alright, here we go. It's in drive. I guess all that's left now is to punch it. We made it. We actually made it. This is great. I need so much coffee. And, well, I probably should get my wife some coffee too. So let's go. Got my coffee and everything. All right. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
All right. Whew, all right, let's get the heck out of here, baby. Oh, my goodness gracious. That was an adventure. I'm excited to finally have my coffee. I can't believe I let it get to the point where I ran out of coffee. That's insane for me. Well, now I'm off to deliver coffee to my wife, but I was thinking while I was in the coffee shop, this idea of acquisitions and all the different video game companies and how like Bungie just got acquired by PlayStation. They're saying that they're gonna acquire even more. Now you gotta bear with me for a second. Let's get somewhere a little more comfortable, all right? Let's super fast transport now. Woo! I finally get my cup of coffee, and I'm gonna show you guys actually, this I call my superpower coffee. This gives me superpowers. Yeah, before I get into it though, the idea of acquisitions and all these different companies doing all these different acquisitions, primarily just PlayStation, Xbox, and now people talking about Nintendo, is an interesting idea. First, I'm concerned, and my concerns are kind of like when Pete bought Stumptown. At first I'm like, great, a big huge corporation is taking out a little mom and pop shop. Now, of course, Bungie is not a mom and pop shop, and Activision Blizzard absolutely is not a mom and pop shop. But what ends up happening is we get this idea that there's just fewer options for us as gamers. And I think that's an interesting place to be. Now, let me show you what I'm about to do here. This is my coffee, my delicious pour over coffee. I'm gonna add something called collagen peptides. It's a protein source, comes from, well, I like to call it ground up bones. It's not just that, but it's going to help with your bones, your cartilage, nails, hair. It's good for you. And it tastes almost like nothing. It's unflavored. I like to put a couple scoops in my coffee, and hey, if Jennifer Aniston's the spokespersons for this, I can look half as good as she does, I'm good to go. Next is gonna be my super secret, awesome, I mean, this is actually what makes the magic happen. This is MCT oil powder. For those of you who know what MCT oil is, it's awesome stuff. For those of you who don't, I'm not gonna bore you. Essentially, this is like brain fuel. It gets your mind nice and focused, and it's really good for your gut. It's also an amazing source of energy, and makes you feel good. And last, for a little bit of sweetener, I use organic coconut sugar. And why coconut sugar, you ask? That's a great question. Because normal sugar causes an insulin response that is less than desirable. This, on the other hand, your body reacts to it the same as maple syrup or eating an apple. Yes, there's sugar, but your body knows what to do with it. Normal refined sugars, your body doesn't quite know what to do with it, so it stores it or causes a really inappropriate insulin response. And then you know how after you eat a lot of sugar you get tired? Not gonna happen. Of course, with the proper amount. Mix it up a little bit, use this handy dandy mix-a-do, make it nice and frothy. And since I do eat paleo style, I don't consume milk or any sort of dairy product. So having a creamy cup of coffee is actually pretty rare for me. But this, with the MCT oil, which is basically just powder version of coconut oil, makes this nice, thick, juicy, creamy, delicious cup of coffee. And this, my friends, oh, That's my superpower juice. Back to the acquisition game. So first we see a big company, Activision Blizzard, go ahead and get bought up by Xbox, or it's still in process. I mean, it's a big deal, so the government's like, let's do a once-over, make sure that these things aren't happening. I just heard a report, or listened to a report for that matter, that when Disney went to buy Fox, they weren't able to acquire Fox News. There's a little bit of split there, so they got some of Fox, but not all of Fox. It was just whatever. It was its own thing. And I think that, you know, with these big, huge purchases, especially one as big as Activision Blizzard going to Microsoft, maybe this once over is a good idea. I know not everybody agrees with that, but I think that this is such a big purchase and could affect so much of this industry that's important that it's properly vetted. Now, they did come out and already say that they weren't planning on going solely exclusive to the Xbox, and that they were planning on stuff like Call of Duty being released on PlayStation or multiple platforms. But we already know that Game Pass is their big push, and they want to see that on all systems. So it would benefit them to make sure that that service is extremely valuable, and with these bigger companies in their pocket, the value isn't just there because these games are on there. The value is there because they're not able to be played on other systems without that service. I'm not a huge fan of that. And I own an Xbox. I own a PlayStation and a Nintendo Switch. For me, the exclusivity wouldn't matter. I'd be able to play all the games all the time, and realistically with Game Pass, I'd probably be able to play these games for free, or $14.99 with the Game Pass Ultimate deal. But I still think that it doesn't benefit the gamer, and I think that is the biggest thing I want to talk about, is what's gonna benefit us as gamers. Let's go back to the coffee shop idea, okay? Pete's Coffee purchased Stumptown. This was years ago. Same with Nestle purchasing Blue Bottle. Blue Bottle being this incredible specialty coffee shop, as well as Stumptown being, again, specialty coffee. Very, very specialized, very, very fancy, hoity-toity, whatever you want to call it. The kind of coffee I drink. I wouldn't consider it that anymore, but that's neither here nor there. When they make these purchases, there's a few really good things that happen. They get funding, they get stuff for their employees, vacation, all that kind of stuff. Specialty coffee shops are mom and pop shops. They do not have good medical plans, they don't have good vacation pay, they don't, if any, they don't have sick pay. I mean, all this stuff, it doesn't exist. But when you get a company like Starbucks behind you or Nestle behind you, all of a sudden the funds are there, the infrastructure's there, everything's there to take care of the employees. This is great. The employees get taken care of. And at first, this is awesome. But something ends up happening. Now, while Stumptown is still its own company, right? It's not Pete's Coffee. Pete's Coffee just owns it. Stumptown still functions by themselves, and Blue Bottle the same. We start to see certain things happen. We start to see stuff like Stumptown being marketed in supermarkets, where coffee like that doesn't last like that on a shelf. Their product changes slightly to be better for the consumer, and we start to see the tendencies that you would get in something like a Starbucks style business being applied to a specialty mom and pop style business. Same with Nestle and Blue Bottle. Yes, distribution is through the roof. Yes, they're making more money than ever before, but the cost was that novelty that existed in the first place. This isn't a perfect analogy, but let's go over to video games. While Activision Blizzard and Bungie, for that matter, neither are small companies, Activision Blizzard being a massive, giant company, and Bungie being the creators of Halo at the beginning, back when Xbox launched. I mean, that's a big deal. They also run the Destiny franchise, among other things. These two companies aren't small, but they do also have smaller companies underneath them. And my worry is that when these bigger companies acquire these already bigger companies, and we get to PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo's gonna do their own thing. They're never a part of these conversations. PlayStation and Xbox, or Microsoft and Sony, for that matter, purchasing studios, we start to see that their tendencies and their exclusivity and their trying to be better than each other really doesn't benefit the gamer. And that's because we start to see gatekeeping with certain types of games, or these smaller studios don't get to do the experimental things that they did to change gaming. Experimental gaming and experimental indies are insanely important. They introduce new mechanics, different styles of thinking. They allow for people that are wildly unique in their thought processes to be able to make something new. This is very important. And my concern is that with these big acquisitions, we're gonna start seeing less and less of that, because those kind of experiments are gonna be very, very calculated. When sometimes you just need to make a moderately calculated shot in the dark to maybe have a masterpiece. I think that that is the joy and the art of video games. So I'm concerned a little bit. I don't like this acquisition game. I also don't like that it makes 450,000 videos with people going like, and talking about how this is the best, this is the worst, this is gonna kill. I just think we should talk about it. I think we should have conversation. I think that we should all talk about it down in the comments, and let's actually have a conversation. If you think that you need to say something like, this is the worst, this is trash, go somewhere else. I wanna talk about this. Let's get it going, hop in the Discord, have conversations with our community, because this is what keeps gaming alive. Us. We are the heartbeats. If you want to be a part of this community, it's super simple. Just hit the subscribe button. That is all you need to do. Sure, there are other options. Hit the like button. That is the most important thing and the freest, most free thing you can do to help this channel. But most of all, you guys know the drill. Unless you're new here, then this is what it is. Happy gaming.